In many of our population centers, animal shelters have been reported being pushed to the brink, being at near capacity.
Yeah, however, that situation's even worse in some rural areas where there's no shelter at all. News 12's Nick Hill has a look at what one group of citizens is doing in Bledsoe County in response to this problem. Nick.
Andrew and Kay, several of our rural counties do not currently have established animal shelters. This includes our free Sequatchie Valley counties, Bledsoe, Marion, and Sequatchie. In Bledsoe County, however, some residents say that it is time to begin a serious push to change that.
There are no options as far as animal shelters go.
Skylar Lehman says she has run an animal rescue in Bledsoe County for years and has rescued hundreds of animals. However, she says the county is seeing a large issue with stray animals, compounded with no formal animal shelter. The nearest ones are in Ray and Cumberland counties, who do not accept animals from outside of their counties.
There are lots of abandoned, abused, and neglected animals that don't have anywhere to go simply because the rescues that are here have pretty much exhausted their resources.
She says the lack of a shelter leads to other issues.
The leash law for the state is not being upheld. The rabies vaccination law for the state is not being upheld. So there are a lot of, things that come with that people aren't taking into consideration other than, animals becoming a nuisance.
That's why she is heading up a citizens committee to discuss what it will take to bring a shelter to Bledsoe County. She says these weekly meetings, the first one being Monday at the Lee Station Baptist Church, will be designed to discuss options and fundraising ideas. Anyone is welcome to attend, Lehman says.
We have already got several fundraisers put in place to start raising money. And so once we establish our board tonight, we're going to continue with those efforts and find, if not a building that we can house the animals in, then, land. And we're just going to start from ground zero and build it ourselves.
She says that she has attempted to meet with Pikeville Mayor Philip Cargill to discuss the animal shelter idea. In Pikeville's ordinances, it states that the city is responsible for dealing with stray animals. However, Lehman says the idea is facing resistance.
When I brought up the ordinance that stated that it was his responsibility to find somewhere for the animals to go, his response was that it just wasn't really in their budget. So in my opinion, he has not been responsive or willing to help at all.
Now, we have reached out to Pikeville Mayor Philip Cargill for comment on this story and if the town's council plans to take part in these discussions moving forward. So far, we have not heard back from his office. Reporting live, Nick Hill, News 12.